Hi guys, hope you're doing great. A lot of people have asked me, Aika, can you please make a video on how to apply for a French citizenship? I would like to know more about it, and hopefully this video will be useful for you guys, because in this video I will share my own experience for applying for French citizenship and tell you the things you should avoid doing and things you should do in order to get that French passport. You should know that today it's harder than it was a few years ago to get French passport, because the French government has decided to limit immigration, because there are just a lot of immigrants and they want to attract high quality and qualified immigrants. There are certain requirements that you need to have in order to be qualified. For instance, good knowledge of the French language. You should prove that you have enough resources to reside in France. You need to prove that you have integrated well in the country, that you know the values of the Republic, that you have professional experience, the contract, CDD or CDI, unlimited contract is the best. And in certain cases, if you have family relatives in France, that is even better. So I've started my procedure back in 2018. I live in Haute-Savoie region at 74, and I had to contact Aika. It's an association which accepts your file. They analyze it before sending it to the prefecture. So my prefecture is in Grenoble, because they actually reunited different regions. So the region is quite big right now. As I said, I prepared my documents well before. I had to go to my home country to get all the necessary documents, for example, a criminal check. If you lived in a country more than 6 months, in all countries you lived in, you have to provide criminal checks. The documents should have 3 months validity. You should also provide all your diplomas, documents from the tax authority that you pay taxes in France. You should provide your paycheck, the resources that you get, your income, or if you have a French test exam that you took, you need to also include that. And you know, there's a big list of documents you need to submit depending on your situation, right? If you are married to a French citizen, then you have to provide the marriage certificate, for instance. And all these documents need to be translated from your language to French, and it has to be translated by an official translator, and it has to be also stamped, and there should be an apostille. So apostille takes time to do, you know, that's why you need to do it quite quickly, and sometimes there are delays. Talking about the French citizenship and the interview, what kind of questions do the public French officials ask during the interview, which lasts for about 30 minutes depending on the prefecture. So I have a list of questions here that were asked in 2020 at the prefecture in Lyon. So I will read them in French and I will translate in English, and you will have to reflect on your own and come up with your answers. You can also ask a question or give me an answer in the comments down below. Okay, so let's start. Person who interviews you will ask you a few general questions, personal questions, such as why do you want to become French? Who is the Prime Minister? Who is the current President of France? What are the powers in France? Donc en français, il y aura plusieurs types de questions. Par exemple, qui est le Premier ministre? Qui est le président actuel? Pourquoi vous voulez devenir français ou française? Quels sont les 3 pouvoirs? Sont-ils exercés par les mêmes personnes? Quels sont les départements d'outre-mer? What are the French overseas territories? Quand est-ce que la 5e République a été instaurée et par qui? When was the 5th Republic established and by whom? What are the colors of the flag? Quelles sont les couleurs du drapeau? Quel est le titre de l'hymne national? What's the title of the national anthem? Que signifie le 14 juillet? 14th of July is national holiday. What does it mean? They can ask about 11th of November or 8th of May. They can ask to tell you about the main characters in the French history, also in art, politics, culture. Donc nommer des personnages importants dans la culture, l'art, la politique, l'histoire. Quelles sont les valeurs de la République? What are the values of the Republic? À quoi servent les impôts? Why do we pay taxes? Qu'est-ce que c'est la laïcité et qu'est-ce que vous en pensez? What's the laicity, the secular state, and what do you think about it? Personnage qui a marqué l'histoire de la France. A person who has done something important in the history of France. They can ask you who is Marianne, qui est Marianne. And also some personal questions such as parlez-moi de votre entourage, vos loisirs, le travail, quel est votre travail, combien de fois vous retournez dans votre pays d'origine, avez-vous des proches en France, avez-vous des propriétés dans votre pays d'origine ou en France. They can ask you some other personal questions such as about your work, what do you do for a living, do you have any relatives in France, do you possess any real estate in your country of origin and in France, what's your surrounding like, what do you do in your free time, what are your hobbies, do you have French friends, how many times do you return to your home country, etc. Now I'll explain you my case. So I first arrived to France to study at the university. I've studied 3 years and then I left to Canada. So when I left to Canada, I spent a year and then I went to Vietnam and then I traveled, which means that I lost my residency in France. So when I returned back, it was in 2014 only. I had to, start from zero. Residency was lost, which meant that those 3 years I previously lived in France were not counted for my French citizenship. So when I arrived in 2014, it was to do my master's degree. I got it in 2 years. And when you have a master's degree in France, then you are allowed to apply for a French citizenship. And that's what I did. Or you can be married to a French citizen and 4 years later, on the 5th year, you can apply for French citizenship too. So in my case, it was naturalisation par décret. Okay, as I said, I applied via ADKS. I sent first an email in January 2018, and only 1 year later, I got a response from them. They invited me to come and submit my file in their office. So because I live in Haute-Savoie and the biggest city is Annecy, and that's where the office is, I went to Annecy to submit the file, and it was only in May 2019. After that, they told me you will receive the letter from us, email, and I've been waiting and waiting. Fortunately, they accepted my file, but there were one document missing. So I had to get that document and send them by mail later. Also, I didn't have any answer if they received it well or not. Okay, so I was waiting and waiting, and finally it was in January 2020 that I received an email from them saying that I was scheduled to have an interview at the prefecture of Grenoble. Wait for it. Can you imagine when? Only in November 2021, which means there's more than 2 years of waiting times. And of course I was really shocked because it's so long. They must have huge a number of demands, and I understand that. So it's not like before, like my foreign friends in Paris, for instance, 10-15 years ago, they got their French citizenship in just 1 year, and today it takes 4 years plus from the moment they approve that you actually are eligible and you comply with all the requirements to become French citizen. Then they will take probably 6-8 months up to a year to make the final decision, and then the time that they have to produce the passport and the ceremony. So in total it will take me 5 years, I think. So in 2020, if you want to apply for French citizenship, from my own experience, if you live in my region in Haute-Savoie, maybe it's different in Ile-de-France, in Paris, maybe it's faster in other regions, but in mine today it takes 5 years. No jokes, guys. And also it's by a naturalisation par décret, which maybe is longer than if you apply as naturalisation par mariage. Maybe by marriage it's faster, but I'm not quite sure. Anyway, I hope that this information was useful for you guys, and I don't want to discourage you from applying. You should do that. You should check all your documents, prepare them very well in advance, and take that appointment. You should contact your local association or prefecture where they accept the files. And if you have any questions, you can ask me in comments, and I'll be happy to respond to any of your questions. I wish you good luck, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.